What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the NYG Blue Zone. This your boy Atticus. We got Moo in the building today. What's up, Moo? How you doing?
It's good to be back, man. It's good to be back. Coming off the flu, I missed a couple of episodes, but I'm back, and it's good to be here. Thanks for holding it down for us. I hear you got some real exciting news to share. What you got to share with the people, huh?
Yo, merch alert, merch alert. We got all kind of stuff, y'all. We got mugs, we got mouse pads, hoodies, tote bags, chargers, cups, thermoses, anything you can think of. We got Christmas ornaments. And any of these items that you guys want, just go to nygbluezone.com. You can order them. And if you order them now, they'll be delivered just in time for Christmas. So go check out all the merch we got, y'all.
Also, we're gonna post a link to the website on the NYG Blue Zone TikTok page, Instagram, Facebook, wherever you follow us at YouTube. We'll post a link so you can get a direct link to get to that website. Support the team, guys. We really appreciate you guys. And even if you don't want to support in that way, like, subscribe, give us your comments. We've been enjoying interacting with you guys. Thank you so much for all the support that we have been getting from you. It is truly appreciated.
Yo, they've been
Now,
coming heavy too, Moo. I mean, we got some haters. We got some seasoned haters out there. You know what I tell? I be like, soon as they come at me with some yin yang stuff, I thank them for the comment and I say, don't forget to subscribe though, because I want to hear your hating ass next week too. Oh man, but we get a lot of engagement. Real grateful for that. We're almost at 850 subscribers, so hopefully within another week or so we'll be at 1,000.
we
So
got
the
to get to
numbers are
that
going up
thousand.
there. People, yeah, man, people are really enjoying the content, and we try to give content throughout the week. This past week, I meant to do an injury report. I wasn't able to do it. We just didn't have time. We got a damn near like a blizzard out here today, so that kind of delayed us going on today. But we real grateful for you guys for continuing to support us and the content that we dropping. So keep it up, y'all. Appreciate it.
Well, one thing I want to give a big shout out to, and that is you. You've been, oh my goodness, you've been crushing it. You've been, when the Giants lose, and I don't want to talk to nobody else. I want to hear what you got to say, young, because you see the game the way I see the game, and you've been on top of it before the game, after the game. I don't even. You might have did one during the game at one point, but you've been on top of the content, and I love to hear it. On my ride to work, I use Apple Music. I don't know what the rest of you guys use, but I listen to the podcast on Apple Music. You can find it on Spotify as well. But on my way to work, I drive, I listen, and I relate because you usually feel the same way I feel.
Yeah, you've been
I
listening
feel.
to the therapy sessions. That's what I've
Uh
been
huh.
calling them, that therapy session. So I appreciate that, man. Yeah, I'm true blue through and through. You know what I mean? Till the casket drops, I'm gonna support my boys, even when they don't show up like they didn't last night. We were
I was
talking
about to
earlier through
say,
text.
let's talk about therapy session number 13.
I know, because that's where we at, right? That's where we at. And before we get into that, we talked about the engagement, but don't forget, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell so every time we drop some new content, you're one of the first ones to be notified. And we appreciate it, y'all. But so we were talking real briefly about what we saw last night, and I think that we felt a little more optimistic going into the game. We had Jackson Dart returning. Felt like, we got a new defensive coordinator with Charlie Bullen calling the shots now that Shane Bowen was dismissed. Kafka's really been showing us some good things on offense, getting real creative with the ball. Special teams was actually playing a little bit better. So I think collectively we felt a little bit better going into the game last night. But what we saw was arguably one of the worst performances by the Giants this year. The first game against the Commanders, and then we just had that complete collapse of the second half with the Kansas City Chiefs. And then yesterday, by the time the first quarter had come to its conclusion, it was like, what am I watching here? How was you feeling watching that game yesterday, Mo?
Defense didn't show up. I feel like we didn't have a shot to do anything good because the defense didn't show up. Abdul Carter has become a pain in my ass, and I spent money on the jersey. I spent money to support the guy. You know what I mean? I support the guy regardless, but he is acting like young Joker. What's that dude named Kadarius Toney? He is becoming a headache. He is not like he is really good. He's a really good player. All right, he's good at pressures. He is not good at closing for whatever reason, and I'll take the pressures over nothing at all. But these antics off the field that is causing you to miss snaps during the game is getting annoying, and there's zero excuses for that. Um, we are starting to feel the absence of Kayvon Thibodeau. I feel like our defense gave us no shot. I think the Patriots, and I can't be wrong, I don't have the stats pulled up. I think they scored on 6 of their 8 drives. It's hard to win games like that. Jackson Dart, I felt he looked good. A lot of drop passes, by the way. Theo he let me down with a couple of them. He caught some impressive ones. He dropped a touchdown. Somebody else dropped a touchdown too. Who else dropped a touchdown? He like Jackson Dart is shooting people with a football and they ain't catching it. Um, 2 point conversion probably was the most impressive play of the night on the offensive side. I love Jackson Dart's awareness, but it was a hard game to watch, and I feel like our defense took us out of the game before our offense could get started. What'd you think?
Yeah, I felt the same way. And you talked about Abdul Carter, and I want to expand on that thought a little bit because I was thinking about how well he played when he finally got on the field. There's a couple of things a couple of ways I want to go with this actually, but and I really felt like he first of all, he got his first sack yesterday, his first full sack, right? And I really felt like the lack of his presence on the field, given the fact that Kayvon Thibodeau was already out and we know he's going to be out, was sorely missed. I really feel like if we would have had him on the field to start the game, we might have seen a little more pressure situations, which would have probably collapsed some plays for the New England Patriots. Because, like you said, they scored on 6 of 8 of their drives, which is unbelievable. And credit to them; those guys came out there prepared. They played well. You know, Drake May is showing why Joe Shane and Brian Dable wanted him so bad last year. Not that I'm disappointed with having Jackson Dart as our starting quarterback, because I'm not, but it really shows that the guy's a baller, right? And he's playing with and on a team that last year didn't win very many games. He went through a lot of growing pains last year. Now, one of the things that I thought that we would be able to see today or yesterday in that game was some high pressure situations from start to finish from Abdul Carter, Brian Burns. I thought Darius Alexander stepped his game up the last game. And Dexter Lawrence, I felt like he was really going to come into his own also, particularly given the way he reacted to Shane Bowen being fired. But we ain't get that because, like you said, all the stupid shit that he doing with his off the field showing up late and I guess he's got this like lackadaisical effort when it comes to the off field stuff that you really need to be a part of, right? It kind of reminds me of AI when he was like, practice, practice. We talking about practice? That's his attitude, but you ain't been here long enough for that.
I was about to say AI produced. This was
He
so
did.
the things that really killed me is one, I feel like we had a situation where we could have tried to put a drive together. We didn't. We let the time run out at the half. We could have at least tried to
And we gonna
get in the
talk
field
about
goal
that too.
range. I feel like we gave up. I don't feel like maximum effort was put in. I don't feel like I was okay with didn't love it, but I was okay if Kafka would have been like the head coach of the Giants. I feel like for me personally, he burnt that bridge yesterday because I never seen. It was like, all right, we lost, and then if it's gonna be that, take Dart off the field. Like it was, it looked like we conceded. We had a fourth down conversion, a 4th and 1. Punt the ball. They marched down the field and score. It was just, it was a
They
hard
kicked the
game to
field goal
watch.
going into the half.
Yeah,
Right.
it made me feel like they didn't think we could win. Like, and
Mm-hmm.
then you'll go for it on a 4th and 7 and not a 4th and 1. We really had several chances to make this game interesting, and we declined all of those chances. We went the other route. We took the easy way out and was we're gonna lose. That's what it felt like to me. Like, oh, like we're gonna lose, so why go for it?
Hmm. I was thinking about that a lot also. So, because I look at football games through a couple of different lenses, right? I've got my real objective coaching. Like if I were the head coach, how will I play this lens? And then I got my fan lens, right? My fan lens say we doing
Of
this
course.
Madden style. It's 4th and 27. We going for this shit. We gonna throw it up, catch it, score a touchdown, whatever, right? So I was thinking about that. The one play that I thought it was a no brainer to go for was when it was just before halftime, and it was the 4th and 1 play that you talked about. I would have gone for
Mm-hmm.
that. I think you got to give your team an opportunity to score going into the half, knowing you're going to get the ball to start the second half. Also, now you talked about how you were, I wouldn't say all in, but you were leaning towards, yeah, I like Kafka. We could roll with him if they decided to do that. But then you also talked about how that game right there killed it for you. I get that too. I'm not sure that it killed it for me because I'm looking at it from a perspective of not that he was conceding, but I thought about this before the game. I thought, are they going to be just trying a bunch of new plays and strategies? Because I got to tell you, man, that quarterback rollout where Dart went to the wide receiver position, Singletary was in a direct snap
Wildcat.
position, and the Wildcat. And you got Dart running around like he's doing a reverse to draw the defenders away so that Singletary can go back to the right. And I thought that was a beautifully designed play. Beautifully designed play. So
It
I was
was.
wondering, was this an opportunity to just try some new things and see what they can do? More or less, maybe they did concede this game at a certain point. I don't know, but I don't know that the idea was to go in and get the dub as much as it was to go in and make sure that Dart stayed healthy, which, by the way, Ellis was trying to kill Jackson Dart throughout the game. And as much as I was disappointed at giving up the 15-yard penalty by Theo Johnson, I was like, yeah, you better stand up for that dude because they was going after this kid,
Mm-hmm.
right? So I'm not really sure. I don't feel like, I guess the bottom line is, I don't feel like Kafka killed himself because he could have a bad game too, right? This was definitely a bad game. Game one as head coach, he did pretty well. Game two, I thought he did even better. This game, I was like, what the fuck? Part of it was special teams completely fell apart. Young Wei Koo, I saw the post game interview where he said that the ball was leaning and he wasn't going to hit it right, whatever the case may be. That's a plausible but untrue explanation for he just fucked up, right? So I saw that too, and I just felt like the whole momentum of this game was going in one direction. And at that point, maybe they felt like, let's see what we can do in these other areas. And I don't know. I don't think that ended his campaign to become the next head coach, but it certainly didn't help him.
So I feel like my mind state going into that game, even if we're gonna try some new stuff, keep Dart healthy. We at a certain point in this game, we're 17-0. Okay. You have a team that wants to win. Okay, and even if you don't, it has to be effort there. I feel like there was no effort at a certain point. We scored. We had a chance to do a 4th and 1. If we would have at least kicked a field goal, like we are making progress here. Now, I call him Young Hoku. Uh, when he when he stubbed his toe and he said the ball was moving, you need to make an effort to kick that damn ball. I'd rather you kick the field goal, they show the replay, you see the ball slid, and now we know why you missed the field goal, than you do some shit that I have not seen in the decades that I've watched football. It looked like some New York Giants shit to do what he did.
Never
And
seen anything like it.
we got a team that want to win, and we got fans that's hungry for a win. I don't feel like this was a game that we went in there to, all right, let's try some new stuff and see what worked. Some of the plays was cool, some of the plays worked, but overall, we were just not good. And my sister was at the
It was a
house
bad game.
yesterday. She was asking me, what do you think? You think you guys gonna win this game? I think we should. I think our team in the state that it's in right now is better than the Patriots. Offensively and defensively, I think the New York Giants, without Malik Neighbors and Cam Scatterbull and Kayvon Thibodeau, is better than the Patriots offensively and defensively. The
Hmm.
problem is coaching, coordinators, play calling, like and stuff like that. But I really do feel like we could beat that team. We just
I
can't.
just think
Like
it wasn't their night last night.
it was
That's what I
bad. It
think.
was
I
prime time
honestly think
too.
that right, it was prime time, but I think that they showed that they just weren't they weren't in that game for whatever reason, and they're entitled to have a bad game, right? The Patriots had a bad game last week against the Cincinnati Bengals. They should not have had as close a game as they did because I honestly think that we are a much better team than Cincinnati also. But they gave them everything that they could handle last week. You look at some of the teams that have beaten us, how many one score games that the New York football Giants have lost this year. They could very easily, and I sound like a broken record saying this, but they could very easily at this point be 7-5 or 7-6 at this point, right? They don't have to have the record that they do have, but they do. So they are what their record says they are, and I'm not trying to change that or whatever or live in some fantasy. I'm just saying that they are not as bad as their record would suggest that they are. When you look at Dart's numbers, he only threw for 139 yards, but he had a passing touchdown. He was able to create on the fly. He was getting sacked and threw a pass on the money.
That
I
was
forget who
fire.
he threw it to. I forget who
Isaiah
he threw it
Hodgins.
to, but yeah, it was Hodgins. And, you can't coach certain things like that. You either got that or you don't. I mean, he completed 71% of his passes when he had players dropping passes. Theo Johnson, he'll do great. I even did an apology video to this guy, right? He'll do great, and then he'll drop passes that he knows he should have caught, right? And one of those, that one touchdown pass that you alluded to earlier, that was pass interference that wasn't called on the defender. He never turned around, and he definitely made contact before the ball got there on Theo, but he still had an opportunity and should have caught that ball. So, and then I just thought that there were situations where the refs didn't help us either. Like when Gunnar
Helmet to
Olszewski,
helmet. Oh my god.
he got rocked. They knocked the N off of the NY of his helmet, helmet to helmet. How was that not a penalty? And we didn't keep the ball. That
It
made
should have
no
been
sense to me.
at least hitting the defenseless receiver. But he,
Yeah,
yeah, you when I saw that they threw the flag and they
picked
picked
it
it
up.
up, it's stuff like that that makes me feel like we're just not a team that's gonna get a fair shake when it comes to play calling. When Abdul Carter's being held, Dexter Lawrence being held, Brian Burns being held, nah, we gotta let the Drake May legend keep going. Not that Thibodeau, I'm aware that he wasn't playing, but it's just like an example. I've never seen a more clear helmet to helmet hitting the defenseless player call. They threw and they just picked it up and gave New England a ball. Here, yo, score again, run
And
it
then
up.
they ended up scoring. And so that's a 14-point swing, right? Between the punt return for a touchdown, credit to that kid who ran it back. He did a great job of finding the seams and bringing it all the way back down. And but then on that missed call, it was a call. Then I guess they figured we're not going to call it. Like you said, that was bullshit. That was a 14-point swing right there. I mean, at that point, the Giants are still very much in that game. And I think that depending on the way that the game is flowing, the way that the game is being called, the way that the points at different times in the game really dictates what plays you're going to call. Your whole strategy is adjusted based on where you are and what your truth is in that moment. But I got to tell you, man, we saw breakdowns in this game yesterday that we haven't seen in weeks. The offensive line has played so well that I didn't remember the last time we saw a procedural penalty like a false start or an illegal shift or an ineligible player downfield before yesterday. There's been a couple of games, but the O line had those breakdowns. Special teams giving up the touchdown, the fumble by Olszewski, which we thought was bullshit. They had breakdowns yesterday. Defensively, we're kind of used to that, right? They're not doing the things we need them to do. Part of it is because Micah McFadden has been going all season, and God, do we miss his ability to hit that A gap or that B gap and stop the run, tackle for a loss, or whatever the case may be. Um, Obviously, we've got Thibodeau, who's been out for, I think this is week 5 now, right? He's been out for a minute dealing with a shoulder injury. So that's been a big loss for us. And then Flanagan Fowles, or I think that's his name, how you say pronounce his name. He came in and he was playing well in spots at least, but he was a better middle linebacker for us than I forget the guy who we got in there now. That's what's crazy. We got guys coming in off the practice squad who's filling in at this point, and they're just not filling in admirably. And you know what all of this tells me, Moo?
What's it
We
tell
don't
you
have
on?
no depth. We don't have no depth. This is another indictment on Joe Shane, who will pick up a couple of nice shiny pieces and he'll put a spotlight on those shiny pieces to help in an attempt so that you don't see what's going on behind them, which is nothing. So when we have an injury in a certain position, except the quarterback, because Jameis has been Jameson, right? But if you got any other position, what do we got? Particularly on the defensive side of the ball, we haven't seen enough to win games.
It's been rough. It's been rough to watch. I expected so much more out of that game. I did not expect to be sitting there watching the
Mm-mm.
TV and feeling like I was watching the 2024 Giants play. That caught me off guard.
Yeah, very disturbing. Very disturbing.
So
Yeah,
going
they
into the
gave up
bye
30
week,
points. I'm sorry, go
going
ahead.
into the bye week, what we thinking? How we feeling?
Well, I think that it's overdue. I'm not mad that it is placed where it is, but in a season that has gone in a complete wrong direction, you kind of need it at this point. Everybody's got to be feeling something right now, some kind of pain, some kind of playing through some type of injury or whatever the case may be. We got a couple of guys that need to heal and hopefully get back on the field. I really thought that Paulson Adebo was going to have a better game, but he did not. I'd rather
Thought he
him
was
stay
gonna have
out
a
another
better
week.
year.
Yeah, and Tyler Nubin, he had a couple of flashy spots, and then he was just like, "Yo, bro, you were so badly out of position." He was on a run blitz, ran right past the running back Henderson yesterday. I'm like, "Oh my god!"
I still
Just
love
frustrating.
Bobby
So
Okereke.
Bobby doing Bobby stuff, right? Like he's number 3 in the league right now in tackles or something like that. So he's
I
still
still
doing
love
what he
Bobby.
needs to do. But yeah, going into the bye week, they need to heal up. I don't know what's going to happen with the defensive mindset. Abdul Carter need to really get his shit together because he has just
Mm.
been like a problem. Like you said, Kadarius Tony 2.0. We just don't need that. We don't need that, And then maybe Kafka comes up with a really good game plan returning off the bye week. I think we got the Commanders when we come back. Is that right?
Yeah,
Commanders or the
dude.
Vikings?
Are we looking for the dub after the bye? Like, are we looking for wins?
They have to be. I don't do that. I don't do that tank for the a player type bullshit. I don't believe in it. I don't think that that necessarily means you're going to draft well. I have no confidence that Joe Shane is going to find the right players for our team coming out of the bye week. I just don't see it with him. I don't trust him. I really think we need a new general manager. I like Brandon Brown. I hope he gets elevated if that happens. But yeah, we better be looking for the win. Is that not
We
what
got
you're
the
thinking?
that's what I want. I'm not interested in tanking for a draft pick. We got our future quarterback. Let's get him confidence and get these guys ready to go next year. We got the Commanders, the Vikings, and the Raiders. I think we should go 3-0.
Honestly, I do too. And I think that if so, I'm really trying to be as objective as I can with this head coach thing, right? There's a couple of things I think is brewing, and when I just look across the league, there's a lot of negative undertones coming out of Pittsburgh with Mike Tomlin, where they are over him, right? I don't know how management feels about it, but the undertones that I'm picking up through several different media outlets are telling me that it may be time for change, not just for him, but for Pittsburgh as well. And if that should happen, I'm like, back up the truck, pay that man what you need to pay him, and
Mm-hmm.
bring him in as the new head coach for the New York Giants. I do like
I love that.
Kafka as the OC. I really like him as the OC. I don't know that he is going to be kept because other teams are going to look to replace their head coach and they're going to take a good hard look at him. But if it is any chance that he can stay, I'd like for him to stay as the offensive coordinator. And I don't know who I would want as the defense. I think that Tomlin does a real good job at building the staff, constructing a roster along with the general manager. I just can't with Joe Shane. See, that's the thing that keeps getting me, Moo. When I think about which direction do we go, I'm stuck because he's here. And I'm not convinced that management is going to keep him, but he's here right now. And I don't know what they're thinking. But coming off the bye week, Kafka has another opportunity to redeem himself and the traction that he originally had with saying, yo, we may want to strongly consider this guy. If they can go 3-1 to finish the season, he's got a good shot at it. I'm not saying that I'm advocating for him to be the new head coach. I don't care what they do as long as they deliver better results than what we've been seeing. But he's got an opportunity. But I do like him as a play caller. What about you?
Like I said, I feel like he got some work to do. He got to earn my trust back because it was so many moments in the game that I wasn't sure what we was doing. It didn't make any sense
Yeah,
to me. It felt very like when they
it was
did the
weird, right?
quarterback sneak on 3rd and 6 when we was at that game live, Unc, and we looked at each other like, what is this? Like, did that just happen? It was quite a few plays. I feel like at the one, you could give it to Singletary, give it to Tracy, do a quarterback sneak. Wandell Robinson is a first down machine. It's like he should change his last name to First Down. Um, we kicked them the ball, and then really really make it stink. They marched down and scored a field goal on us. So honestly, if we went for it, we probably would have got the ball back with time.
Probably.
Yeah. I feel like that game stunk out loud, and the lack of effort. Um, he got work to do. I'm not saying that I can't be swayed, but I'm not excited to see him as the head coach after that performance. I don't know what the goal was yesterday or going into yesterday, but it looked like the goal was, all right, well, they're up 17-0. We lost. Let's not get anybody hurt. Let's get home. That's what it looked like to me.
Yeah, I still thought that the Giants had a good chance of coming back and winning
Me
this
too.
game. In fact, even at 17 nothing in the first quarter, I didn't feel like we was going to lose the game. I still felt like the Giants are going to win this game tonight, believe it or not, which is kind of crazy when you think about it. But I felt like they were better than their record suggested, and the New England Patriots were not as good as their record suggested. They put
They could
exclamation
have
points on both of them yesterday, though, right?
they could have won that game with a winning team. We are not a winning team. We are a team that figure out ways to lose. So if they had a winning team, if they was going in the right direction as far as coaching, to me, and now this involves Kafka as well, I do think we could have won the game as well. I feel like we could have at least put 6 more points on the board. We got the Young Hui cool thing, and going forward on that first down. It's not to say we would have definitely got it, but it shows us that we are playing this football game to win it, opposed to we are playing a football game. Yesterday looked just like we were playing a football game. We did not look like a winning team. We looked like our record yesterday, and that was the first time since Jackson Dart started, and this includes the Saints game, because I feel like the Saints game was some freak shit. That's the first time since Jackson Dart started that I felt like we looked like our record.
Yeah, I agree. 100%. I felt the same way watching that game. At the conclusion of the game, I wasn't even that mad. If I'm being honest, I'm
It's
just
hard to
numb to
be.
this shit at this point.
Yeah.
I'm honestly looking forward to like the next step of the rebuild for next season. That's where I am mentally when it comes to this team. Now I'ma still watch them my boys, right? I'ma still root. I'ma be happy as hell when they win. I'ma feel something when they lose, but I'm not like just pouring my emotions into this team at this point. I'm just not doing that right now. But right now we in the mix for the number 1 or the number 2 position of the draft. Even if we win these next few games and we find ourselves in a top 10 position of drafting, I think that we're going to be okay if Joe Shane isn't the general manager. I honestly didn't even watch his press conference today because I just don't give a fuck about that guy and I really want him to be gone. But I still think that the Giants need to play to win. I don't believe in tanking. Take this time to get healed up, rest up. Abdul Carter need to go to therapy or whatever he need to do, but he need to get his head right because he is self-destructing before our eyes. Even in that interview where they just kept asking him, "Yo, what happened?" And that's their jobs, right? That's the media's job. Now I ain't gonna say that the
Yeah.
media is always trying to do something to help you, but yo, what's up with you? You the number 3 overall pick in a draft. Like everybody wanted you. You were highly coveted coming out of Penn State. And this is what you doing? You can't even get on the field because of your disciplinary reasons. And you don't want to talk about it, which is showing us that you got some disciplinary issues. It's
This
frustrating,
is
man.
this happened with us with Evan Neal. It's happened with us, and it's not to say like Kayvon Thibodeau has produced. He has not produced in the way that we drafted him for. Okay, like we're trying to draft game changers. When you draft somebody top 10, you're trying to draft a game changer, a freak, a Hutchinson from Detroit.
Impact player.
Like that's what you want. We draft these players high, and I get this phobia. The only time that I felt like, oh shit, we did it right was when we got Malik Neighbors. But in recent
Saquon
history,
too.
well, Saquon that was a while ago. But Saquon did do exactly what we drafted him for. But we get these people, Andrew Thomas as well. Andrew Thomas did exactly what we drafted him for. We drafted Evan Neal so high to be a bench warmer and a revolving door.
He don't even
And
have a
then,
uniform anymore.
yeah, what's happening with Abdul Carter make me feel like, what the fuck is going on? You
Yeah.
are like you said, you are number 3. Everybody was comparing this dude to Micah Parsons. He got 1.5 sacks. He's doing his thing with pressures. He does have listen. I want the guy on my team still. I'm not saying I feel like we should have drafted somebody else, but he gives me the same vibe that I get from Shador Sanders lately, which is grow up, dude. Grow up. Learn how to talk to the media. Learn how to talk to people. His whole interview on the didn't I just answer that question? Like, bro, like, nah, that wasn't an acceptable answer. And then he's taking to Twitter like Meek Mill, posting stuff on Twitter all day. Go practice, watch film, figure out how to turn those pressures into sacks. I am so frustrated with Abdul Carter. It doesn't even make any sense because number three,
Yeah,
I don't
I
got any
think he can
excuses
turn it
for it.
around. I think he's got some maturing to do. I don't think it's even fair to compare him to Shador because the media been coming after Shador. The media been trying to start shit with Shador, and I think if you look at 50 of the interviews that he's done since he's been in the league, he may have mishandled his emotions twice when it comes to dealing with the media. Overall, they showing these snippets and clips of what he said, but they're not showing the whole context of the interview and how he answered them in the most perfect ways. Thank giving all the credit to God before he even starts. Just real humble like. And then they'll take something and twist it into something that is just stupid, meaningless, and designed to get clicks. It's
When
clickbait,
I
you
when I
know.
say not to get on the whole Shador wave, when I say that, I mean when they started Dylan Gabriel, Shador laughed in the media. What you want me to do? Talk to them. He didn't handle it like a professional should. And I understand that he wants to get on the field. Another interview, he started
And
talking
not
like a
for
mime.
nothing,
He
he's better
was.
than him.
I agree. He
And
started
and
talking like a
Aaron
mime.
Rodgers did the same thing. To if I'm and I'm not saying he's Aaron Rodgers, but Aaron Rodgers was you watched every pick that came before Aaron Rodgers. He's like, really? This guy? That one? This one? So there's an
I just feel
unfair
like
thing that happens with that.
it's a certain way to handle the media, and I feel like Shador, with him having his father as an NFL player, he got a management team. Go out there. What did Mac Jones say? I am here to do whatever I have to do for this team until Brock Purdy get better. That somebody like Mac Jones is going. Somebody going to pick him up because I feel like he handles the situations right when the media is talking to him. I listen to the good Shador media interviews, but it's easier to talk to the media when you the starting quarterback. When he was not the starting quarterback, he did not handle any of his interviews well. None of them.
Yeah.
And I feel like Abdul Carter is not handling his interviews well. I feel
He ain't
like he's
handling
acted.
nothing well.
He's
He
not
ain't handling
handling
nothing
anything
well.
well.
Yeah,
Shador
he
looks better
wanted
than Abdul
to
Carter right
use
now.
Lawrence Taylor's number. Are you fucking kidding me? You know how comical and nonsensical that sounds at this point? Like, really? No, you don't. You gotta earn. He ain't even earned the 51 that he wearing right now, and it's
I
sad.
agree.
It's
I
sad. It's
agree.
frustrating. It's frustrating. But anyway, another tough loss for the New York Giants. This has been our what's become weekly Monday therapy session. We still bleed in blue. We still appreciate all you guys for joining us as we talk New York football Giants ins and outs of what's going on with this team. And we don't know what to expect moving forward, right? Like,
I don't
one
know.
thing I know, the Giants are not one of those we gonna tank teams. They showed us that last year with freaking Drew Lock threw 4 touchdowns, looking like he was playing Madden football to close out the year last year. So we know they aren't gonna tank. They're gonna try to win games. So I'm gonna be rooting for them next week. Minnesota is a hot mess. JJ McCarthy is trash with a capital T. It's in all caps. He's a trash quarterback. Sam Darnold destroyed his former team. You think about this. They had Kirk Cousins, Sam Darnold, they had Daniel Jones on their team, and they went to JJ McCarthy, who
That's because I
pitched
got him on
a
my fantasy league.
what did he have? A 34 point something QBR
It
last
was
week?
the lowest ever.
The lowest ever. Just absolute
We do
garbage.
have the Commanders before the Vikings, though. And I think Jaden Daniels might play.
We do. We do, and I didn't mean to overlook that. My screen had the Vikings up, so I was not looking past the Commanders. Believe that, not with how they gave everything that the Denver Broncos could handle this past week. It's just a disappointing defeat for them. And I actually thought the Washington Commanders was going to win that game before the game started. After it started, I was like, damn, this is a real good game, which makes me not believe in Denver any more than I believe in any of these other teams. I think they're
you've
frauds.
been a Bo Nix hater. They not the Denver
I'm not
is
a
real.
Bo Nix hater. You know what I think I am? I think I'm a Sean Payton hater. I think Bo Nix is okay. I don't think he is as good as he portrays himself to be, but he's having a good year. You can't deny that. You look at his
Denver
numbers, you
is
look at
for
his
real.
record.
They're for real.
Yeah, he's having a good game. I mean, he was good in Oregon, and he's been. Listen, last year I thought he played better than he is this year, and that's the team who it was. I couldn't think of who it was. They lost so many of these real close games. That was the Denver Broncos a year ago, and this year they're winning those real close games. That's who the Giants are right now. I'm telling you, they will lose a one possession game every single time this year. Next year, that ain't gonna happen. Next year they fuck around and be 12-2 at this point, 11-2 at this point. Hey, from my mouth to God's ears, right? It could happen. I've seen it happen. But anyway, I hope the Giants go 4-0 to close out the season. I will be at Quan going to this next game against the Commanders when we return from the bye week. And then I sold the tickets to the Vikings. Then they're away at the Raiders. And then the last game of the year, my wife and I are going to be there to see the Giants host the Dallas Cowboys. So I hope we go 4-0.
Who's the Cowboys? You mean the Cowgirls?
It's a farm league team. It's like an expansion team. They got like 12 fans. I don't know.
Oh, okay. I know what you're talking about. The star thing.
Yeah.
Guys.
Yeah.
All right. But that's
All
the
right,
wrap.
so
That's the
that's the
episode. All right.
That's the
Thank you guys
episode.
so much for watching. Don't forget, like, subscribe, send your comments, whatever, good and bad. We'll take it all. And don't forget about that merchandise. We're going to put the link in the bios. Go Big Blue, baby.
Go Big Blue. Appreciate y'all. See y'all soon.
Yeah, a lot of girls probably crying from my old high school. Look, they see me everywhere they go. I probably would too. Look, crossed over to the Jordan man like I'm Michael. Yeah, eating blessings so much I might need lipo. Yeah, tailored for the doves like I'm walking in chucks. Yeah, it's just in this plan, man, I see all y'all shook. Look, knew that I was great ever since I was a rook. Man, all y'all singles making me look good. Okay, praise to the Most High, yeah, that's Jesus. Look, but when it come to this rap thing, I can't lose. Yeah, back-to-back number ones, that's a thing greats do. Yeah, tell them boys that ain't nothing I can't do. It's my year. It's my year.